Hey YouTubers, it's good to see you out there, everybody. I hope that you're doing well today on February 2nd, 2021. I ask that you like and subscribe to SpeaknsEe's channel here. We give information on the SBA, EIDL loans, PPP loans, things like that in the nature of small businesses, how to fill out forms, how to make money basically. And we have got some fresh information on the EIDL Advance grant that everybody is seeking so hard and has been seeking so hard for in the last year. We want to give a quick shout out to Jeff Mathis for giving us a heads up that, hey, it's 10 o'clock at night and the SBA just came out with this information. Shout out to you there, Jeff. You probably read all this, and I am now going to read it for our 10 subscribers that we got. Anyway, once again, like and subscribe if you like this kind of information. Here's the deal. Now, we have all been wondering when and where and how we are going to be getting our EIDL grant, right? Okay, well, here we go. The first big and main question is, how can I apply? Or can I apply now? Because we were all wondering, hey, are we going to have to fill out an application? Or are they just going to send us an email? Or is it just going to show up in the bank? It's not just going to show up in the bank. I'm going to read this to you, and I will also post a link down below. Applicants must wait until they receive an email invite from the SBA to apply for the new targeted EIDL Advance. In accordance with the Economic Aid Hard-to-Hit Small Businesses, Nonprofits, and ACT Venues Economic Act, businesses and nonprofit organizations that received a previous EIDL Advance in an amount less than $10,000 will have first priority to apply for the targeted EIDL Advance and will be the first group to receive email invites to the application portal. So that answers a lot of everybody's questions right there in that one statement. It says, yeah, if you were in here, if you were one of the first that applied for the advanced, for the EIDL grant, now it is called a targeted EIDL grant that you will be receiving an email for shortly. You will be the first to receive the emails, and you will be the first in the portals to open up and that get the application to fill out in order to receive the rest of your $10,000 grants. Okay, the second priority group are businesses and nonprofit organizations that applied for EIDL assistance before December 27th, 2020, but did not receive an EIDL advance because available funding was exhausted in mid-July 2020, which was actually, I think it was July 11th. I think they stopped most of them, given the rest of the grant out. They ran out of money. So you will be second. So anybody that applied, say after July 11th, that did not receive the grant money, you will be second in line to receive that application for the rest of your targeted advance. If you didn't get any, of course, you would get the full $10,000 if you qualify. Please note that business and nonprofit organizations with COVID-19 related losses can still apply for an EIDL loan if they have not already. And that loan is actually good to go. You can apply for that. Everybody thought it was going to be, I even thought it was going to be done. They were telling us at last year, December 31st. However, they have extended it for another full year, and they've put quite a bit of amount of money in there too. So you can, if you have not applied for an EIDL loan, go ahead and try and do that if you need it for your business. So if you have not done so already, remember, that's if you have not done it. These are for the new EIDL loans that we're talking about. If you want more money on an increase, you would go, or some say round two, some say increase, same thing. But you would just, if you already have gotten a loan, you would just give them a reconsideration letter saying, hey, I need some more money. When will the SBA begin sending email invites to the first priority group? That's a great question. The SBA will begin sending invites to businesses and nonprofit organizations that received the EIDL Advance and the amount less than $10,000 starting on February 1st. So that's kind of like now, starting now. I have actually seen some people get these invites about a week ago, but I kept hush-hush under the rug because I knew that everybody wasn't going to be getting it. So some have, but now people can really start expecting them, and the majority of them will probably start coming in middle of February. So just don't think that it's just going to be yours is coming today because you're in the first queue. It doesn't necessarily mean that. They're going to go in pretty much the order that they were received. It may take several weeks before all emails are sent to businesses in the first priority group. So please do not be alarmed if you do not receive your email invite right away. The invite to apply will be sent to the primary contact email address associated with your original EIDL grant application from the SBA. All communications from the SBA will be sent from an official government email with an SBA.gov ending. Please do not send sensitive information via email to any address that does not end in SBA.gov. I cannot emphasize this enough, people. For those scammers that are out there, they will give you another email address that does not end in SBA.gov. If you are dealing with somebody whose email does not end in SBA.gov, you may want to double check and even call the tier and the program up to say, hey, is this a legit number? Am I dealing with the right person? Because there is so much fraud out there. Last thing we want for anybody out there is to be stuck in that. If it doesn't end in SBA.gov, leave it alone. Call an SBA agent immediately. When will the SBA begin sending email invites to second priority group? And it says the SBA will closely monitor the rate of applications and approvals for the first priority group, and will announce a projected start date for the second priority group at a later date. There we go. We're going to be getting people, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? It's coming the same way that this one did, guys. The SBA will announce it. That's kind of why you don't see a lot of Speak and See videos anymore, is because we're waiting for the announcements. That's pretty much where we're at right now. Does the SBA plan to open the program to new applications beyond the first two priority groups? Currently, there are no plans to open targeted EIDL advanced programs to new applicants beyond the first priority groups. The SBA's ability to accept new applications for the targeted EIDL advanced program will depend on the availability of funds, which the SBA will closely monitor. Any changes to the application availability will be announced on their website, just as this was. So basically they're saying, nope, guys, we're going to dish out what we have promised, and we are going to try to call it quits. Hopefully by that time, the pandemic will be over, and we don't have to keep on digging any deeper into debt for our country, which is a great idea. Okay, do I have to reapply if I received less than $10,000 limit on the advance funds? No! Again, and no! Do not reapply. I've been saying this for the last 8 months. If you got one application in, do not put another application in. We do not reapply. No, no, no. So unless they send you an email that says, here is which way to go, then you will kind of reapply, just as we had spoke about up here, where they said SBA to apply for a new targeted loan. But until you get this email, do not try filling out another application. Please save yourself the heartache. So the answer, do I have to reapply if I received less than the $10,000? If you didn't get the full EIDL advance, no. Then don't reapply. The targeted EIDL advance is a different program than the original EIDL advance and has a different process here. The SBA will reach out directly to EIDL applicants who received an EIDL advance of less than $10,000 maximum and provide instructions to business owners about how to provide the SBA with the required information to determine eligibility and how to submit documentation for any additional grant funds. Now here's where the people are going to be like, oh, that means you got to be in a low-income community. That means you have to show your 30% losses. It may mean that. We're going to find out, and it's coming up. But don't just wait for the email, people. Wait for the email. Don't get too excited yet. Should I reapply if I didn't receive the original EIDL advance because the funds were exhausted? No, do not reapply. No, the targeted advance is a different program than the original EIDL advance, and has a different process here. The SBA will reach out to applicants who applied for COVID EIDL 19 funding before December 27th, 2020 and did not receive the EIDL advance funds because all available advance funding was already exhausted. The SBA will email instructions. It's like they're repeating themselves over and over again here. The SBA will email instructions on how to provide the SBA information to determine eligibility and how to submit the necessary documentation. These businesses must also have 300 or fewer employees, in addition to being located in federally designated low-income communities and meet the reduction in revenue requirements. There's the kicker right there. Again, everybody's wondering, these businesses must, this is for those of you that targeted EIDL Advance, remember, is a different program than the original EIDL Advance and has different process. So here's the part where everybody is getting a little dumbfounded, and because it's kind of going over and over. Have they answered any of our questions now? From this point on, it looks like no, we're kind of stuck in that same boat to where, okay, does that apply to me? Does it apply to my business? Because I know that 90% of the businesses that out there that went for the EIDL grant were not in federally low-income communities. And so we're going to find out about this. We're going to wait for that email, people. Don't get too excited now. And if there's a problem with it, we will take care of it. When we get to that bridge, people, we will cross it. Okay? Next question. While I am waiting for the SBA invitation to apply for the targeted EIDL advance, what are some things that I can do to prepare to apply? If you have not yet filed your 2019 federal tax return, you should complete that process. You will also be required to provide the business monthly gross receipts for each month of January 2019 through the most recent month to date period. This information will be used to determine that your business meets the greater than 30% reduction in revenue requirements during an 8-week period beginning on March 20th, 2020. They're basically saying we want to see your business. They want to see your numbers from 2019. Applicants, and this next one, number 8, is what I've been trying to stress to everybody out there. I try to give out the information that gets you paid, gets you money, and help you through that, which this next step in number 8, you can go to my video on the 4506T, and that should help you with this. Number 8, what documents will I need to provide? Applicants who meet the low-income community criteria will be asked to provide gross monthly revenue for January 2019 through the most recent month-to-date period, all forms of combined monthly earnings receipts, such as profits or salaries, to confirm the reduction in revenue. They may also be asked to provide an IRS Form 4506T to allow the SBA to request tax information on the applicant's behalf. Tax verification process and requirements for businesses in the United States territories may differ. So there you go. There's that 4506T form, people, and I have already done a video on that a long time ago for those of you who were going for the EIDL second round of EIDL loan, because most of us had to fill out that 4506T form. Oh, okay, so down here is if you're located in the Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico down here. Eligibility. My business moved since I originally applied for the EIDL assistance. Am I still eligible for the targeted advance? The SBA will reach out to you directly to confirm your address. If your address has changed, the SBA will request additional documentation to confirm the location. Once the location is confirmed, the SBA will determine if the location is located in a low-income community. Number 11, who is eligible for a new targeted EIDL advance? Businesses that have less than 300 or fewer employees are located in federally identified low-income communities and can demonstrate a reduction in revenue of more than 30% during an 8-week period on March 22nd or later. This includes small business entities normally eligible for the SBA EIDL program, including non-farm businesses, corporations, sole proprietors, independent contractors, and private nonprofit organizations. We have not filed 2019 tax returns. Are we still eligible? They say in most cases, the SBA requires a 2019 tax return to be filed with the IRS to verify your eligibility. Certain organizations that were not required to file 2019 federal tax returns are still eligible, such as churches. Like they're saying, you got to be in a certain organization that didn't require you to file federal tax returns. That's a whole new area. Are agricultural enterprises businesses eligible for the new targeted EIDL advance? No. I'm just going to say no on that. 14. What businesses are not eligible? Some examples of ineligible businesses include those engaged in illegal activities, loan packaging, speculation, multi-sale distributions, gambling, and investment or lending. So if you're in the stock market, or if you're playing DraftKings or poker table, or, selling drugs, stuff like that, no, you can't get this for that. Yeah, it's not eligible for a grant. What is meant by targeted related to the COVID? This is a good question. Number 15, people, is a pretty good question. What is meant by targeted related to the new COVID-19 EIDL advance? Remember, the old one has passed away. All things have become new in this program. Oh, gosh. Anyway, next. The Economic Act signed into law on December 27, 2020, authorized the SBA to provide additional EIDL advance funds to certain small businesses that meet the specific eligible criteria. Currently, these targeted EIDL advance funds are only available to businesses with 300. It's repeating and repeating here. Employees that have applied to SBA for EIDL assistance before December 27, 2020, and where the business addresses is located in a low-income community. Businesses must also demonstrate a reduction in revenue greater than 30% and must meet the same eligibility requirements applicable to COVID EIDLs. 16. How do you determine whether a business is located in a low-income community? This is giving you the instructions on how to determine that. We use the definition of a low-income community outlined in subparagraph. This is the keeper, guys. This is what I've been trying to tell everybody, that even if you're not specifically, your house is not located in a low-income community, or your business is not, there's ways in this section here, the USC 45D, I went over that in one of my other videos, that you can still get the loan if your house is not located in a low-income community. Let me read this again. How do you determine whether a business is located in a low-income community? We use the definition of a low-income communities outlined in subparagraph 1, 3, 4, and 5 of the 26 USC 45D E. The SBA will determine if your business is located in a low-income community based on the application business address. So on this one, guys, this is the one that everybody's kicking and screaming and moaning about. How do they do it? Well, it's right here. They use the definition of low-income community outlined in subparagraph 1, 3, 4, and 5 of 26 USC 45DE, and I went over this in another video. We'll see how that goes. We'll cross that bridge again when we get there. The SBA will determine if your business is located in low-income community based on the applicant business address. So if you've already put in the address, if you've already put in your application for the first EIDL grant, they're probably going to go with that. Do I have to repay any targeted EIDL advance funds that I receive? No. As the EIDL advance funds under the CARES Act, as with the EIDL advance funds under the CARES Act, these advances do not have to be repaid. See, they're saying this is different money than the CARES Act, but you don't have to be repaid as the CARES Act mentioned. It's funny how they put the CARES Act back in there, like as if it matters. How much can my business receive from the targeted EIDL advance funds? Businesses can receive a maximum of $10,000, and that includes any advance funds that are already received, plus the targeted EIDL advance. So if you got 1,000, you get another 9. What can I use the EIDL advance funds for? But are not limited to continuation of healthcare, rent, utilities, fixed debt payments, pretty much anything that you need for your business. How long will it take to receive the advance funds once my application is submitted to the SBA? Once the SBA has received all requested documentation, we will process the information and issue any additional funds as quickly as possible. The SBA is able to process request within 21 days of receiving a completed application. The application decisions will be communicated via email. Will the targeted EIDL advance funds I receive be subtracted from my Paycheck Protection Program forgiveness? No, the Economic Aid Act has eliminated that requirement. Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much. That's huge. How does the SBA define gross receipts for EIDL Targeted Advance Program? Gross receipts include all revenues in whatever form received or accrued in accordance with the entity's accounting method from whatever source, including from the sales products or services, interest, dividends, rents, royalties, fees, commissions reduced by the returns, and allowances for the applicant's business. Who should business owners contact with additional questions about these targeted EIDL advance? Business owners can contact the SBA's Customer Service Center at 1-800-659-2955 or by email at targetedadvance@sba.gov if they have any questions about the Targeted EIDL Advance program. Guys, once again, I will put the link to this down below. There's a PDF file that you can download to your computer and go over those finer points that may have interest to you. If you have any more questions, particular specifics that you would like to ask, feel free. So we will talk to you later. Go Bucks. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe to Speak and See. We'll see you later. Thanks, guys. Hopefully all this information helped. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.